Have you ever looked up at the vast, empty skies of Alaska and felt like something was watching you? For some, that feeling became a terrifying reality. Picture this. The year is 2002. In the village of Togiak, Alaska, a group of villagers spot something impossible in the sky. It wasn't a plane, not an eagle. It was a creature of immense size, with a wingspan they estimated to be nearly 20 feet wide, as big as a small airplane. This wasn't an isolated incident. This was a modern sighting of a creature from ancient legends, the Thunderbird. Today, we rejourneying into the wild heart of the last frontier to uncover the truth behind one of North America's most enigmatic cryptids. Are these sightings just misidentifications of known birds? Or is a living, breathing, prehistoric creature soaring through the Alaskan wilderness? Or perhaps, is it something more profound, a powerful spirit from indigenous lore making its presence known? The legend of the Thunderbird is not new. It's woven into the very fabric of numerous indigenous cultures across North America, especially in the Pacific Northwest and Alaska. For centuries, stories have been passed down through generations about a colossal bird, so powerful that the beat of its wings could create thunder, and lightning would flash from its eyes. These weren't just simple folktales. They were accounts of a sacred and mighty being, a force of nature that commanded both respect and fear. Tlingit Haida and other coastal peoples carved its likeness into towering totem poles, a testament to its significance. They described a creature capable of hunting large prey, even whales, by lifting them from the sea with its massive talons. These stories paint a picture of a real, physical entity, not just a metaphorical spirit. But what happens when these ancient stories leap from the pages of mythology into the present day? The 2002 Togiak sighting is a prime example. The eyewitnesses, including local pilots and seasoned outdoorsmen, were certain of what they saw. They described a dark, bird-like creature that dwarfed any known bird of prey. The story quickly gained national attention, sparking a fierce debate. Scientists and ornithologists were understandably skeptical. They proposed more grounded explanations. Could it have been a stellar sea eagle, one of the largest eagles in the world? While impressive, a stellar sea eagle has a wingspan of about 8 feet, a far cry from the nearly 20 feet reported by multiple witnesses. What about a sandhill crane or a great blue heron? Seen from a distance or in poor lighting, their large profiles could be deceiving. But again, their size doesn't quite match the colossal scale described in the most compelling accounts. This wasn't the first time such a creature was reported in modern history. Let's rewind to the 1970s. In the Loyang area of the Kenai Peninsula, multiple residents reported seeing a gigantic bird over several months. They described it as brown or black, with a wingspan so wide it blotted out the sun. These weren't fleeting glances. People watched it soar for minutes at a time, struggling to comprehend what they were seeing. One resident, a construction worker, even claimed he and his crew saw the bird multiple times, estimating its wingspan at an unbelievable 25 feet. These consistent reports from different people over a period of time make them difficult to dismiss as simple hoaxes or misidentifications. So, if it's not a known bird, what could it be? This is where we enter the realm of cryptozoology, the study of hidden or unknown animals. One of the most popular theories is that the Thunderbird is a surviving population of a prehistoric creature. The prime candidate is often the a group of massive predatory birds that lived in North America during the Pleistocene. The largest of these, Argentavis magnificens, had an estimated wingspan of up to 23 feet, perfectly matching the descriptions from the most dramatic Thunderbird sightings. While science tells us these creatures went extinct around 10,000 years ago, cryptozoologists and enthusiasts argue that the vast, sparsely populated wilderness of Alaska and the Pacific Northwest could theoretically harbor a small, undiscovered population. Could these ancient birds have survived the last ice age, living on in the remote, unexplored valleys and mountain ranges? It's a tantalizing thought, to living fossils soaring in our modern skies. But let's consider the indigenous perspective again, which offers a different, yet equally powerful explanation. To many tribes, the Thunderbird is not a cryptid in the biological sense. It is a supernatural being, a spirit. It exists on a plane between the physical and the spiritual. Its appearance is not a random biological event, but a significant omen or a message. It might appear to warn of a coming disaster, to signify a great change, or to remind humanity of the power of nature. From this viewpoint, trying to explain the Thunderbird with fossil records or by comparing it to known birds misses the point entirely. It's like trying to capture a storm in a jar. The sightings aren't meant to be proven or disproven by science. They are experiences, spiritual encounters that reaffirm a sacred connection to the natural world. This interpretation aligns perfectly with the creature's name, the Thunderbird, a bringer of storms, a force of nature personified. The fascination with the Thunderbird has, of course, spilled over into modern media. From books and documentaries to horror movies, the image of a giant, mysterious bird has captured our collective imagination. It represents the unknown, the untamed wilderness, and the idea that our world still holds incredible secrets. Each new sighting, no matter how brief or ambiguous, refuels the debate and adds another chapter to the ongoing legend. The media coverage often sensationalizes the sightings, focusing on the monstrous aspect of a giant predator. However, this sometimes overshadows the deeper cultural and spiritual significance of the creature. It transforms a sacred being into a simple monster, which can be a disservice to the rich traditions from which the stories originate. Let's dive back into another chilling account. In the 1980s, near the Iliamna Lake region of Alaska, another series of sightings occurred. A pilot flying a small Cessna reported being shadowed by a bird so large that he initially mistook it for another aircraft. He described it as having a massive featherless head and a wingspan that was wider than his own plane. He was so shaken by the experience that he was hesitant to even file an official report, fearing ridicule. But he wasn't alone. Others in the area reported similar encounters around the same time. The consistency of these reports, the enormous size, the slow, powerful wing beats, the sheer impossibility of it all is what keeps this mystery alive. So, what are we left with? We have three main possibilities. First, the misidentification theory, that all these sightings are simply cases of mistaken identity, where known birds, planes, or even weather balloons are seen under unusual conditions, leading to an exaggerated perception of size. This is the most scientifically conservative explanation, but for many eyewitnesses, it feels inadequate and almost insulting, as it dismisses their clear and often terrifying experiences. Second, the cryptid theory. The idea that a real, undiscovered animal, possibly a descendant of a prehistoric giant bird like the Teratornis, is living in the remote corners of Alaska. This theory is exciting and captures the imagination, offering a tangible, biological explanation for the sightings. However, it lacks hard evidence. Despite decades of reports, no one has ever produced a feather, a clear photograph, or any physical proof of the creature's existence. And third, the spiritual or cultural theory that the Thunderbird is a powerful spirit being whose appearances are not bound by the laws of biology. This explanation honors the ancient indigenous traditions and acknowledges a reality beyond what our current scientific instruments can measure. For those who have had these encounters, this explanation often resonates most deeply, as the experience felt more profound than just seeing a large animal. Perhaps the true nature of the Thunderbird lies somewhere in the intersection of all three. Maybe ancient peoples did witness giant prehistoric birds, and these real encounters evolved into the spiritual legends of the Thunderbird. And perhaps, through a combination of rare sightings of a surviving species and the powerful influence of these ingrained cultural stories, people today continue to experience this phenomenon. The legend primes the mind, and the sighting confirms the legend, creating a self-perpetuating mystery. The skies over Alaska are vast, and much of its territory remains truly wild and unexplored. In a world where we feel like every corner of the globe has been mapped and catalogued, the story of the Thunderbird reminds us that mystery is still out there. It challenges our understanding of the natural world and our place within it. Whether it's a living fossil, a powerful spirit, or a trick of the light, the Thunderbird continues to soar in the space between myth and reality, forever a symbol of the wild, untamed power of the North. What do you think? Have you ever seen something in the sky you couldn't explain? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of an Alaskan mystery. If you enjoyed this exploration of the unknown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the world's greatest enigma. Stay curious.